Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new review. Behind me is the new Leapmotor B10. This is their fully electric model. And in this review, we're gonna check it out. So without further ado, let's just jump into the review. So guys, here's the beauty, new Leapmotor B10. Again, fully electric model. I'm here at my old location because it's super hot, it's unbearable. So it's a little bit less hot in the shade here. There's going to be occasional traffic we're going to ignore. Don't worry, I'm not too close to the road, so it's all safe. In Europe, you can choose two trims, the entry called Style and Design, which we have here. There's also two battery sizes. They're both LFP batteries. The entry model with the entry battery starts at 31,000 euros in Croatia. With this model with the top trim and bigger battery starts at 34,000 euros in Croatia. Now, in some European countries like Croatia, you can get up to 9,000 euros incentives for the electric vehicles, meaning you can lower this price below 30K, which is really an amazing deal. Now, let me run you through the tech specs. They're the same regardless of the trim. Again, you just choose the battery size. So this is a rear-wheel drive. The electric motor is mounted on the rear axle, producing 160 kilowatts of power, which is equal to 218 horsepower. Launching this car 0 to 100 in 8 seconds, while the top speed is limited to 170 kilometers per hour. Inside this one is a bigger battery. It's 65 kilowatt hour usable. In the entry one, it's 10 kilowatt hour less. It's 55 usable. This one, the bigger one, gives you WLTP range of 434 kilometers of range. On the BMS at 100% state of charge, it says 367 kilometers. So it also depends on your driving style, on the season. But in the video description, there's going to be a link to technical details, more about range and charging. Now, this is a 400 volt architecture battery, so meaning you charge on AC up to 11 kilowatts, on DC it's 168 max. You also have vehicle to load up to 3.3 kilowatts. With technical details out of the way, let's finally check out the car. Design wise, it is more curved. There's no too many sharp lines. It's more polished and aerodynamic. But the design is personal taste, so we won't debate that. Now, we have here it's called Dawn Purple, but let's check out the car. Let's come a little bit closer. Now, close up on this purple color. On the sun, it really pops, so it looks a bit darker in the shade. Now, on the top, you can see the daytime running lights. These are flickering on the camera only. These switch to turn signals, and below here you have the main headlight, so this is great in an SUV, so you're not blinding other people. It's a bit lower. Now you can see here the piano black and then the unpainted black. You also have it on the side skirts. You have also LED fog lights. And since this is an EV, the top is closed. In China, I think you get connected LED bar, but in Europe it's divided. Now you also have here camera for 360 parking. You can see it on the side mirrors as well. But there are no front parking sensors. They're only available on the rear of the car. Now, there's a big air intake here. The flaps open up at higher speeds when you need more air for battery cooling and AC. Now, here you can see Leapmotor. Huge thanks to Leapmotor for providing this car for a review. You can see the badge on the top, LP. Now, if I back up, you can see the beautiful front end. Now, moving to the side here, you can see this color on the sun a little bit here. It pops, so it looks really nice. I think ladies will like this lavender color, so it's more stylish for the feminine side. Here are the alloys, 18-inch diamond cut silver on black, multi-spoke, and if I can find the tire dimension, it's here 225/50 R18. Now the suspension is also very nice and comfy, and here you can see that side skirt in unpainted black. We also have here Leapmotor, black side contrasting mirrors. This is where you tap your NFC card to unlock. You can see a lot of tapping, so this kind of needs to get polished. But you can see the turn signal and the camera for 360 parking. You also have a blind spot warning light there. Now, you can see here the VIN number. You can see the dash. There's a speaker bar. You can see the 3D design of the dash. Now, there's a rain sensor and camera for ADAS features. You can see here double laminated front windshield. We have tinted but not openable panel roof, also double glass, and you can see the spoiler on the rear. If I back up, there's no traffic at the moment. You can see the profile of the car and the beautiful color on the sun that really pops. Tinted windows on the back, nice big SUV. Now, handles, you press in, unlock the car. Driver's side has lock unlock, and if you press here, you have physical cylinder on the driver's side. You can see here the back, and let's check out the back taillights. So depending on the angle of this one on the camera, might look off. So I mean, that is a bit weird. You can see it now, it's on, so it is connected, and it just goes off. So it's a camera thing. You can see it now on. So we have connected LED taillights, and on the back you have the Leapmotor B10 signature. If I come close, you can also see here the discrete diffuser, cat eyes, and probably reverse lights. You can also see those parking sensors I've mentioned only on the rear, and you can see the backing camera. We have cold lights, I believe, yep, for the license plate illumination. And we're gonna open the tailgate, but you don't open it here. There's a button on the right side here. Before we do that, let me just show you here. You have the stoplight, but we don't have the rear wiper. That is unusual. So I wish Leapmotor added that. And here's the back end. You can see the lights are now connected. So again, it's only on the camera. And let me just show you the charge port here on the right side of the vehicle in the back. AC and combined DC. So that's that with vehicle to load option. Now, let me press here, back up. Now you can see here the tailgate opens fairly tall. I'm a 2-meter tall person, or 6.6 feet if you're new to the channel. So watch out not to hit your head. This is close. On the top, you can press here to close, or this is nice and rubberized. You can adjust the height, hold the closing button till you hear a sound confirmation, and you can memorize different height. Now on the top, this is all plain. You have an emergency unlock from the inside. Now, very spacious cargo. You have this cover. You can remove it if you want that. If I remove my backpack, you can see the spacious cargo space. I'm gonna type down the liters. So nice and big. 300 liters plus, and 1,700 when you knock down the seats. Now, here you have a flat entry, easy to put suitcases, seats knock down 60-40. On the right, you have a cold light. Both sides, you have grocery hooks, and on the left, you have a speaker. Now, underneath, you can see here plenty of stuff: patching kit, first aid box with the emergency triangle and reflective vest, another sealant, public AC charging cable, and there is a Shuko for home charging or destination charging. You could lower this and use an extra 7 fingers of height. That's times 2, you get centimeters of the depth. So that's the cargo. Now if I close this up and close the tailgate, so it's nice closing sound, not too loud. Now let's check the interior. So good opening and closing sound. When you open the doors, the turn signal engages us for safety. Now if I back up, you can see you can easily put a child seat inside. Doors go all the way down, and if you have kids, you can turn here to disable unlock from the inside for their safety. Now materials, you can see here, big handles. This is softly padded, and then there's some hard plastic, same color as the leatherette. You have speaker here and at the bottom with Leapmotor signature. Nice big pockets and powered windows. Now, since this is an EV, there's no transmission tunnel, meaning more space on the floor. Now here's the leatherette. It's very smooth, it's perforated in the middle, and you can see here the ISOFIX. This is the top view. Now here's the headrest. You can lower it and you can press down here to knock down the rear bench. So watch out for the seatbelt. You can see the space on the back. Now let me jump in. Plenty of feet room. I was sitting in the front, plenty of knee room. You can see this is all, again, smooth leatherette. You have big pockets, and here you have AC vents. So if they're connected, they're closed. If they're divided, they're open. You have two USBs, C and A, for fast charging. Spacious little compartment there, and plenty of leg room. Now these are nice and wide. Great profile for two people in the back. You can squeeze a third person for a short journey. And on the back you have a armrest, two adjustable cups, and a rubber mat. Not sure why this is up, but that's that. Now on the back you can see the headrest. You can adjust it height wise, but this one is a bit in the way. It's obstructing the rear view. There's also, by the way, a speaker there, so you can see the back here. We have all three sides besides the driver slowly closing handles, and on the back you have these little shirt hooks. So that's all great. Front seatbelt is not height adjustable. Let's hear the closing sound. Good closing sound. Now here's the front view. I'm gonna check that in a moment. And plenty of headroom despite panel roof. I can straighten up, so all great. Now it is a little bit hot here without the AC, so let's move to the front. So much better closing sound on the front doors. And here's the front. Now I know there's a lot of sun, but you can see it's all identical. You only have all four window controls there. Now over here you can see the paddles for the automatic. You have the powered seats, back and forward, up and down. There's no knee area, and there's a tilt. Also, there is no lumbar support, but these are heated and ventilated on the front. So small bolster here, a little bit bigger on the top. Quite comfortable, so far I have no complaints. Steering column is adjusted manually in all directions. But check this out, the digital cockpit screen is mounted on the steering column, so you cannot move the steering wheel further away from the screen. Now here we have ambient lights. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Maybe if I cover this, but let's jump inside. Before we do that, you have here cups, and you have again two USBs and a 12-volt outlet beneath there. Let's hear the closing sound. Nice closing sound. And let me switch to wide lens. Now this is going to be a point of view driving with no talking, and a separated video night point of view driving review, where I'm going to summon my impressions behind the wheel. Now you can see the beautiful dash and the screens. Let me zoom in. I shall turn on a little bit of AC. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud, but it's just super hot inside the car and outside. We're going to come back to the screens and the menus, so don't worry, we'll cover everything. You can see here the two-spoke steering wheel. It's a flat bottom, and we have this purple leatherette here as well. You can see it. You would thought this is a dark one or a black one, but on the sun you can see clearly this is purple, or maybe there in the shade. So it's matching the exterior color of the vehicle. Personally, I wouldn't choose this, but it might be interesting to some people. I'm going to actually move the vehicle a little bit to the front so we're in the shade, so you can see better, and I'm less hot. So as you saw, I just pressed the brake. There's no start stop button. It's like a Tesla. And here's the gear selector. So you have the button for park, reverse neutral drive. Press twice down to engage the sort of like an autopilot, same like in the legacy Teslas, but Tesla has moved the gear selector to the screen now. And here you can see turn signal, light control, front washer, and front wipers. Now on the steering wheel, we have these scroll buttons, same as on Tesla. This one is for the volume, press to mute, push sides to skip, and I forgot what this one's for. Here you can lock, unlock the car. This one can be customized, and here you have the trip computer. You can see here, I'm going to cycle through those, navigation and media. So we have no reception here. There's barely 4G. We're in this forest. There's not too much reception. So also the maps here, I'm just going to show you that, are not going to load. I might cut in that because they're not offline maps. But back to the digital cockpit. You have here speedo, energy flow, range, and on the car, when you put it to drive, you can see here, and you can see like lanes and other traffic. It is the avatar is in the color of the vehicle, which is great. And over here you can see media, trip, or here is the driving mode, outside temperature, and time. To check out the dash, you can see now in the shade there's ambient light here, close, open for the air vent. Now this is padded by leather, but it's hard. Same here. This is the new ADAS feature. You have a infrared light monitoring your eyes so you don't get drowsy. You can see the nice design. You can see excellent in the side mirrors. It's moved to the side, better for aerodynamics and better for you to see traffic. Now, overview in the back is a bit narrow, but I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Here you have another big screen. I think this is the same screen Tesla is using, and you can see the 3D design of the dash. Now, you might put a tablet here if you want, so it's kind of interesting because there's like room there. And you can see here air vents with ambient lights. Now, you can also add these cups. So that is that. You saw the USBs I showed you. This is the card. You tap it on the driver's side mirror to lock or unlock if you're not using the app. And you need to tap it here in order to drive. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't need to sugarcoat anything. If you lean here, you can hear some sounds. This is a press car, so sometimes these get abused. When this car was new on the press launch, I didn't hear any sounds. This is the only sound I can hear sometimes here when you lean. So just being here 100% honest. You can put some documents here or charging cards. There's a lot of room in this compartment. There's a rubber mat at the bottom. So that is that. The seats are nice and comfy. You can see the back here. Now I'm going to open the shade here. Now Tesla doesn't have a shade for some reason, and this is tinted, but it still gets super hot in the car if the shade is not on or if the cover is not on. You can see here it brings a lot of light when you have a banner roof. It looks beautiful during the rest of the seasons, but I'm gonna keep it closed. And on the sun it's super hot if you don't cover it. Now I'll come back to the screen just to show you here the spacious and slowly opening glove box. It's deep, so there's a lot of storage room in there. And on the top here you can see don't blind me manually, so no auto dimming. There is emergency call. There are hazards here, same as like in Tesla. Look at this, you can see the hazards or the turn signals on the side of the mirrors. That's a great detail I love. So there are no lights on the back, they're only here in the front. You can tap them here. It's cold light. You have documents holder, and we have the beauty mirror, same cold light, and this one does not extend. Neither you have here anything, although they did prep it. So that is that. Regarding headroom on the front, plenty of headroom for a tall person. Now I think we can focus on this display. This is your home menu. Now if you pull down here, you have plenty of shortcuts, and if you press the pen, you can customize these. So you can disable here the overspeed warning and driver distraction. You also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. If you press here, you can see the percentage and the range together. If you press here, it quickly brings you to the charge menu. If you press here, that's the home menu. Now here you can find chargers, but again, the current location, there's no connection. You can press here to get into the radio. So you have FM and DAB. You have here a list of favorites. There are some settings here, and let's play some sound here. I can't play for too long not to get a copyright strike, you know the deal. But you know, it's an okay sound system. I don't feel like it's too loud, to be honest, but maybe you can play with the settings. You also have the RDS and all the good features. Yeah, you can hear the song. So now moving on, you have here a trip computer car. You can always see your consumption here. You also have a tire pressure, so you can see here odometer. You can see here current trip since last charge and trip A. Also you can bring this by tapping here or here. Now here you have different backgrounds, so summer, so this might be more appropriate, but you know, you can choose one of these 5 pictures. You can choose the vehicle paint, so you can choose, so these are the color options in Europe. I think maybe these are in China. And then you can have even the background. You can have an airplane, butterflies, rainbow, weather, rain day, snow. Okay, that's really a lot, but I like the details. If we are looking at the menus at the bottom, you have shortcuts here. So you have the apps. I'm not going to run through each of these, but you have the App Store. You can download Spotify and different apps. You have also themes that we saw there. Next to this, you have 360 cameras. So you have a 3D view. You can have it here transparent, or you also see this when you engage a turn signal. You can see here your alloys, not to curb them, and you can change the views. For the AC, you tap here to change temperature. You can tap here to bring the AC menu. You can manually control the AC fan. If you press the max here, it's going to go to low. Auto is going to keep AC on but do auto recirculation. You have the heating and ventilation. It'll get out of the menu if you don't press anything. It's a dual zone. You have here settings. Here you have the seats menu. You can also press down here to bring it up. You have front ventilated and heated seats and heated steering wheel. If you tap here, you can see the additional info. If you press on the little fan, you can switch off the AC or bring it on. So that is that. You also have a shortcut for the cover, auto recirculation, and sound for the front passenger. Now, let me show you here. So you have these shortcuts, same as on the Tesla, beautiful avatar. You can open and close the tailgate, fold the mirrors, and so on. Cutting this in, you always find out something new about the car. And I've changed one of the themes. You can see this one definitely looks like the Tesla one with a spotlight on the top. I also found out you can just swipe down and make these cars disappear, so you can just have a clean look, but you can just pull it up. Another detail that you don't notice during the day is this one. So you can just have a split screen with the maps, and then if you put it to drive, the car switches to this, so you can have both of these. So this is also same as Tesla, and you don't maybe notice that at first. So that's the way you can have that, or full screen. You can see that. Now let's move to the car settings. Now this menu will remember where you left, so it doesn't reset like in Tesla. So let's start from the top here. You have here lighting. You can keep your lights on position. They will not auto reset to auto, so keep your lights on auto. This is just me showing you how the lights work. And here you have the ambient lights. I'm going to show that at night. So you have the ambient lights here, you can choose, and you have different settings. Here are the locks, tailgate, and shade. Let me just check if I've missed anything here. Yeah, you have all of these settings. Moving here to charge. So this is an LFP battery. It's recommended to charge it to 100% occasionally, but you can set lower. And this is the discharge for vehicle to load. You can also set when it's cheap tariff if you want to charge at home. Driver range conditions. So if I go to standard, you can see it increases the range and it shows the WLTP. The dynamic is more realistic one, so I keep it on dynamic. And driving here, you have comfort, standard, or sport. It also changes the views on the top. Now, car will each time reset to comfort settings, so have that in mind. Regenerative braking, I prefer strong for better efficiency. Steering mode, you also have all the 3 settings. You can adjust the mirrors here with these scroll wheels just like on a Tesla. So this is inspired by Tesla a lot. It's pretty obvious, but I don't mind that. It's pretty good. You can customize this one. And you have here some additional driving features. If you engage the one pedal driving, then you can't have driving modes on. Although you have creep mode, you can disable that, and you have auto hold, so all the good stuff. You can see here wiper sensitivity and so on. ADAS features: lane centering, control, intelligent speed assistance. So you can enable those if you want that. You can disable the stuff you don't like. You can have that distraction warning, and you can see all of that. Sound, you have here for each, and you can see all the settings. Sound effects, you can have where you want the sound, surround, dynamic, and so on, and equalizer. You can play with that. Leapmotor assistant. So you can use the voice assistant to change, like the temperature, open the top shade, and so on. You have here some of the settings. Now there is a dark theme that engages this automatically when it's late night, or if you get into the tunnel or a garage, or you can keep it on auto setting, or you can manually choose if you want the light or dark theme. I think the light theme looks nice during the day in this light interior. By the way, if you go for the design trim, you have this light interior and a dark one. If you go for the style trim, you have a dark one with the textile seats, so you don't get these. And over here you can see the brightness of the screen. Here you can customize these icons, or if you are not in that menu, you can just hold here. It brings the same. Now system, you can see here those, and maintenance and general. There are over-the-air updates, so the car will download the latest updates. And that's it, guys. That was the whole review. It's a pretty nice car. I think it's missing a few stuff like the rear wiper. I'm really not sure why they didn't add that. 2 wireless charging pads would be nice, but everything else is more or less pretty nice. And stay tuned for the night review. So when you get out of the car, you just release the brake. So look at this. You get in the car, you press drive or reverse, you put it to park, and you get out. That's it. If you're using your app and you have your smartphone as a key, you just get out, the car will lock. When you approach, it will unlock. Otherwise, with the card, again, you need to tap it on that side mirror. Now, to pop the bonnet, okay, there we go. So you can see here the frunk space. You can put some charging cables and maybe like a first aid box. And this is the washer fluid reservoir, not too big, around maybe 2 liters. And that's it. The rest leave it to the mechanics. So that was the new Leapmotor B10. Guys, that's it. If you liked the video, be a cool person, smash the like button and share this video. Type in the comments below how you like the new B10. Now, also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's completely free, and click the bell to get notified when I upload more content. There's going to be more videos about the Leapmotor B10, such as point of view driving with no comments during the day, night point of view driving review where I'm going to summon my impressions behind the wheel. There's also going to be a same video night tour or night review, just shorter, and there's going to be range test plus charging test. So stay tuned for more content and see you in the next one. Bye.